Hi, everybody. It's me, Crystal, the insurance broker. You can find me on YouTube, Crystal, the insurance broker, or Crystal at Crystal Insurance on Facebook. I am doing 2 streams, one from Facebook and one from YouTube about my webinar that I just set up on Facebook not too long ago. And it's called Health Insurance Uncovered, Your Questions Answered, right? So this is an educational event. It's talking about Medicare Advantage plans, Part C plans in the general sense, not anything policy specific or carrier specific. It's talking about ACA issues and things that are coming up, ACA problems within the market. And it's also showing, maybe giving some topics about maybe Medigap or Medicare supplement plans. Okay. If you don't know me, definitely look at my Facebook page. Follow me on Facebook. The QR code is there. You can click on it and or scan it, and you'll learn a little bit more about me. Okay, so let's get started. My background info. Hi, I am Crystal. I'm Crystal, the insurance broker on YouTube, and Crystal at Crystal Insurance, Crystal Clear Coverage on Facebook. I used to be a previous school teacher in South Korea, and then I decided to switch careers and teach and be an insurance broker in 2022. I'm a licensed insurance broker for 25 states. I have AHIP certification, which is the certification needed to talk about Medicare Advantage policies for 2023, 2024, and on. I have my ACA marketplace certifications for these years, and I'm contracted with national carriers. So that's my background info, and let's get started about the general basic info that you need to know for this webinar. If you're over the age of 65 and you have a Medicare Advantage plan, now until December 7th is the annual enrollment period. You want to check with your insurance agent your policies now, because it's the right time to do it. It's now until December 7th, so that you're able to get all of the benefits that you need for the upcoming year 2026. Okay. So like I said, just check your insurance policies with your insurance agent to make sure that you're on the right policy for 2026. If you're over the age of 65, have a Medicare Advantage policy, or that you have original Medicare and you need to get on a Medicare Advantage policy, then you would talk to an agent or broker and help set that up. Okay. Now, if you're under the age of 65 and you have an ACA policy, now is not the right time to talk to an agent. You have at least one more week to wait on, and then it lasts up until December 15th to check on your policy and enroll into a new policy for ACA. Keep in mind though, that as of right now on Capitol Hill, there is a fight going on between Democrats and Republicans about ACA health subsidies, right? To lower your premium payments. If the Democrats get it, then your premium payments for ACA will be low. If the Republicans get it, then unfortunately the subsidies are going to go away, and you would be seeing the increased costs for ACA. And if that is the case, then definitely reach out to one of us brokers. If you have a insurance agent or broker, reach out to them so that you can better navigate those waters, right? Because right now in ACA, it's a little bit choppy. Yeah. So, like I said, you want to check with your marketplace agent, or you want to find a marketplace agent to see if you're still on the right policy for 2026. So, this is our lovely wheel of topics to talk about. If I'm streaming right now, I don't know if you're watching, whether or not you're under the age of 65 or over the age of 65. If you're under the ages of 65, it's a good idea to get into the ACA topics and what you can do there to better protect yourself right now. Okay. So why should you check your ACA your ACA policy every year, and how to lower your copays? Okay. Let's check on that. So why should you check your ACA policy every year? You want to check your ACA policy because premiums could go up, especially for 2026. It's being argued right now. You've probably seen it on the news. It's being argued right now. The health subsidies, why there is a government shutdown, is because of the health subsidies. So yeah, you definitely want to check your ACA policies and better navigate the waters, because right now in Capitol Hill, they don't know which way to go, and it's causing the federal shutdown. So you definitely want to talk to a licensed broker agent. You want to reach out to your broker agent if you know them, and contact them regularly, because premiums could have gone up, and you need to make some changes there. The summary of benefits could be different. It could be that every single year, typically, things change, right? And you want to check with your broker agent just to make sure that the policies that you're wanting to get are better aligned with you, or are being aligned with you. So you want to check that to make sure that your benefits are still okay. The policy could have been changed without your consent. This is common. Like last year or 2 years, there was well, actually, no, last year, CMS, which is the governing agency for health insurance agents, gave us a notice saying that, if we're looking at social security numbers within Health Sherpa, that those people may be looked at like fraudulently, like seeing how many times their social security number was viewed within Health Sherpa. So be aware of that. You know, you want to make sure with an agent or a broker, or with your agent or a broker, that the policy that you signed up for in 2025 is still the policy when you go check during open enrollment period from November 1st through December 15th, because you need to have that, right? You need to have that. That is something that you need to know and make sure that you're okay there. Your policy could have been discontinued. It's very possible. ACA policies go in and out all the time, so you want to make sure that the policy is still available, and then if not, then your agent or broker, or the agent or broker that you're talking to, moves you to a policy that is within your 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 service area. So how to lower your deductibles and copays if you're under ACA, right? If you're under an ACA policy, you want to consider getting a fixed indemnity policy, which covers copays and co-insurances for hospital, surgery, and doctor's appointments. A fixed indemnity, or all the indemnity policies, pay you so that you can pay for those services at the doctor's office or at the hospital. And these are good policies to have, because who has the money? Honestly, like, who has the money to pay for copays? Who has the money to pay for the cost share of an insurance policy? It's expensive. So getting a hospital indemnity policy that costs like around $40 to $60 a month could greatly help with savings and keeping you safe and healthy. It's really something to have. Now, if you work in specific industries like construction, electrical, HVAC, you want to consider getting accident insurance because, to be honest, like you're in a high risk area of work, and you could injure and you could injure yourself. And if that happens, if you don't have the additional coverages, like I said before, it's expensive. It's really expensive. The cost of co-pays and co-insurances. Typically, the premium cost for accident insurance is around 20 to like maybe $40 a month, more or less. Um, so if you need to get accident insurance, if you're working in like high risk areas like construction, electrical, HVAC, then definitely look at that and definitely talk about that with your agent or broker so that you will have the ability to 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 talk about that. Okay. I just got a chat. Let me see who was on the chat here. Okay. Okay. So that wasn't something that was on the chat. So like let's move on. So just keep in mind that some ACA policies, if you are going to um, renew your ACA policy, they have high deductibles. So the average deductible within the ACA policy is around 500 up to like maybe 1,000, right? Or more. So if your problem is that you know that you're not going to have that type of income lying around to cover for your deductible, if you have to go to the doctor or if you have to go get surgery, you might want to look at other ACA policies that will lower the deductible and lower the general copays within that policy, but obviously it would be at a slightly higher premium. So if you're looking at policies that have a metal level of bronze or extended bronze, you want to check maybe ACA policies that have silver, gold, or platinum, if that's available. Uh, metal level for ACA. Also, keep in mind this will be at a premium cost, so definitely work with your agent or broker so that they're mitigating the premium cost for you, so that you're maximizing the coverage for you and your family. Okay, so where has all the dental gone? Because on ACA policies, you're not going to find this, right? No, they're most likely they might have vision, but you're most likely not going to see dental at all. So, where has all the dental, vision, and hearing additional coverage gone? For Medicare Advantage policies, if you're over the age of 65 or you have a disability and you're on Medicare, vision and hearing coverage is still there, but dental has taken a drastic hit in 2026. We've seen this in 2025 where half of the policies within the general market didn't have comprehensive dental benefit levels of around 2,500 or more, you know. So in 2025, we were starting to see changes within the marketplace. But now, as of 2026, if you have a Medicare Advantage policy, the policies within your service area, you're going to probably find preventative dental only, preventative dental covering, cleanings, and scalings, right? So yeah, that's what's happening as far as Medicare Advantage policies are concerned. So if you're on one of these policies and you need a comprehensive dental coverage, it's a good idea to get a standalone dental policy. The reason being is because the policies that are on in the market right now for Medicare Advantage, They're usually preventative dental. And if you need certain things to get done for your teeth, like fillings, extractions, crowns, bridges, any other type of oral surgery, um, dentures as well. Then also if you want to get dental implants, say like if you don't like dentures or they just or like they just don't work, then you want to get a standalone dental policy. Typically, the standalone dental policies $30 up to like maybe $50 or $60 a month. You definitely want to check with your agent or broker for that to see what percentages are being covered for a dental policy that would suit you. Okay, and like I said before, standalone dental policies do cover dental implants. Okay, for ACA policies, if you're under the age of 65, you want to consider getting a combination dental vision policy because those additional coverages are generally not covered in most ACA policies. Definitely get in contact with your agent or broker for that so that you're able to get those coverages for you and your family. Okay. So if, say, you are affected by the subsidies and or you only had state Medicaid and now state Medicaid's gone because right now, as we're speaking, there's issues with SNAP benefits. And I think now the work requirements are enacting now, I think, for a state Medicaid. So if something's happening with you in regards to state Medicaid, how to protect yourself from loss of Medicaid if it happens, because we're in that season for it, right? So what can you do if you lose your state Medicaid? If you're on state Medicaid and you happen to lose it, there are a couple of things you can do depending on your insurance group, right? If you have a Medicare Advantage dual special needs plan, this is specifically speaking for those who are Medicare and Medicaid holders, and then say, hey, you lose your state Medicaid, then you can opt to get a Medicare Advantage Part B Give Back plan. What a Medicare Advantage Part B Give Back plan does is that the carrier would pay a portion of your Medicare Part B premium. As of 2026, the Medicare Part B premium is going up to $206. So when you lose your state Medicaid, the state was paying for your Medicare Part B premium. So when you lose it, it's going to be your responsibility to pay, and it would be coming out of your Social Security check. So to try to negate that down, right, the carrier would pay a portion of that Medicare Part B premium under a Part B give back policy. Um, so that would definitely keep your Medicare Part B premium costs down if this were to happen to you. At the same time, you want to use the income saved from that Part B reduction to apply for a hospital indemnity policy that would lower your hospital and surgery copays. Um, Hospital indemnity policies are just are slightly similar to fixed indemnity policies. Hospital indemnity policies cover for inpatient hospital copays and outpatient hospital copays. Does include, I think, depending on the policy, ambulance rides, and it also may include skilled nursing facility coverage as well. Um, so if you need that additional coverage because you don't have that income available to pay each time for your for your care, because under a MAPD policy, it's like maybe $275 per day for days 1 through 5, or $375 per day for days 1 through 5, with an outpatient surgery cost of around 275, 375, or up. If you don't have that income, then it's a good idea to then uh ask about the hospital indemnity policy with your agent or broker, um, so that you're able to lock in those copays, and so that it's not so expensive if you lose your state Medicaid. Okay. If you're under the age of 65 and you lose your state Medicaid, you want to apply for a fixed indemnity policy. Fixed indemnity policies provide the same income for a wide range of medical costs. So it would be a good idea to look into further. What's good about fixed indemnity policies is that they cover generally or hit on majority topics that a traditional health insurance coverage would do. What you would have to do, how a indemnity policy would work, would be that you would need to get the invoice from the clinic, the invoice from the hospital, and then talk to the insurance carrier of that indemnity policy, and then they would send you a claim form that you would have to fill out and then attach the invoice to it, so that the insurance carrier would pay you by your bank account so that you can pay for those services up front. Okay. That's how the indemnity policies work. So if you can't get ACA, or if it's ACA is too expensive, definitely look in getting a fixed indemnity policy. Like I said before, they're typically around 40 to like $60, or if max, maybe even like $100, but that would definitely lower your premium payments down so that you're able to um, afford it and be able to cover yourself and potentially your family. Now, if income is a complete issue, say you don't even have that, and it's just rough right now, because I know people have it rough. There are other products that you can look at, like membership savings cards or health savings accounts. There are certain membership savings cards that are around $20 a month, and health savings accounts that are at $25 a month, that you can use to help lower your medical cost if you have to use it. And if you're completely destitute, my heart goes out to you. But if that is the case, then you would also want to consider going to the community health center within your state and within your county. They do see people at no cost. So if you're really needing some type of medical help and you don't have the income to get on any sort of policy, definitely check with your state for community health centers so that you can get that coverage. And also you want to check maybe if you're over the age of 65, senior health centers as well, for their social aspect if you need some type of help. Okay. Now, if you're over the age of 65, um, and you do have a Medicare Advantage policy, these are the changes that you would be seeing within 2026. So in 2026, there most likely is going to be an area shrinkage. Well, we're actually seeing it now. It's been almost 10 days since the start of annual enrollment period. And those policies that I saw in 2025, I'm not seeing for 2026. So if your insurance policy is affected by area shrinkage, then you definitely want to reach out to your broker or your agent so that you're put on a policy that's still within your area. Okay. The lessening Part B reduction policies, we're seeing that as well. In 2025, I would see various types of Part B give back policies from different carriers. And now I'm not seeing that much. It's maybe two or three Part B give back policies within a specific area. If you are looking to try to increase your Part B give back amount from a carrier, You want to get in contact with your agent or broker, um, so that you're getting the reduction in that savings for next year. Okay. Medical deductibles, we're seeing that now. In the past, where I wouldn't see hardly any like annual medical deductibles on any Medicare Advantage policy, but now where we're starting to see medical deductibles in each area for each carrier, like around 257 for the medical deductible, up to maybe $750 for the medical deductible. So if your policy has a medical deductible and you're not necessarily interested in that, you want to talk to an agent or broker so that you're you're negating that cost if you can for your service area. Low dental benefits from so now we're seeing preventative dental only, or it's a comprehensive dental coverage only up to 15,000 in certain spots of the country. If you need additional coverage for comprehensive dental, then a good idea is to get a standalone dental policy. You can discuss that with your agent or broker a little bit further so that they can find the right policy for you. But we're seeing in the marketplace for Part C policies low dental benefits across the entire country. It's usually preventative dental only, or if it's comprehensive, it's going up to 1,500. A lot of non-routine transportation. If you need transportation and if you use your carrier's non-routine transportation coverage and now in 2026 you don't have that anymore, please keep in mind that you can find your local senior center in your area that should help you with getting non-routine transportation again. Definitely check out your local senior center. You can do a Google search of your county and senior center so that you're able to find that information in regards to your senior center. Okay. And not a lot of over the counter benefits that we're seeing in the Medicare Advantage space for those policies getting into 2026. If you need anything like assistance in getting specific things for you that's over the counter, definitely get in contact with your local senior center so that you're able to have that. Okay. So, what to do to protect yourself from these changes? Well, you can speak to your current insurance agent for any updates regarding your plan. Definitely have a meeting with them to go over your current policy to make sure that it meets your needs for 2026. And consider getting a standalone dental policy if your plan doesn't offer comprehensive dental coverage. Also, use senior centers to gain access to food help, non routine transportation, and other social services for seniors. Also, keep in mind that if you need to food and you're over the age of 60, definitely use your phone to scan the QR code in the upper right hand corner, well, the upper left corner of the screen, so that you can apply for commodity supplemental food, the commodity supplemental food program, which can help get you some food. Okay, if you need it, if it's necessary. All right. So if it's really really important, then like you can do it and get that done. All righty. So what's next? And like I said before, if you need this, you can't click the link within the actual presentation. You can go and click the link in the upper left hand corner of the screen so that you're able to apply for the commodity supplemental food program and get the help that you need. Okay. Okay, let me make this a little bit bigger if you get. There you go. It makes it a little bit bigger because I was on the wrong screen. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Okay. So now let's get into the next section. So where do you go to get prescription drug help if you're over the age of 65? And say if you're not over the age of 65, right? You can, for the over the age of 65, apply for federal extra help at the Social Security website page. You can't click on the link directly. So you want to use your phone to scan the QR code so that you're able to enter into the Social Security Administration's website for federal extra help. Federal extra help would lower your prescription drug payments down to, like, as of 2026, $5 and some change for generic drugs and $12 and some change for branded drugs. So it's something really necessary to look at, right? And if you need to fill it out, then definitely go to the Federal Extra Help website. The QR code is listed in the upper left-hand corner, and fill it out so that you're able to get those savings for your prescriptions. If you're under the age of 65, you can use GoodRx. You can use GoodRx. The QR code is above on the upper left-hand corner of the screen so that you're able to lock in those savings as well. One of my followers actually told me a little bit of something about another RX place you can go if you needed to get some help. And this is let me look at this site. It was one of my one of my colleagues. His name is Matt Marino. Hi, Matt. He told me about another savings program for the prescription drug plan. It's called Cover RRX. It does the exact same thing as GoodRx. So if you wanted to do that as well, then you can definitely go there. So let me to the place. See if I can do this here. Go here. It's one. Okay. So let's see if I can add this link here. It's possible. Yep. Now I think it's okay if I add it. There you go. Da, da, da. I think in order for me to add here, okay. Yeah. We're going to put this chat box, so if you're able to see it here, I'm going to put this on the crystal section or in the YouTube section if you're watching for me on YouTube. You can look at the link that Matt gave for the Clever RX savings program there for your prescription drugs. Okay. So you can also ask if you have, say, it's hard to do Good RX, it's hard to do Clever RX, or if you're not over the age of 65 and have Medicare um, to apply for the federal extra help. You can ask your doctor about manufacturers coupons. That is something that is available to you. So if these particular prescriptions like Farxiga, Novolog, Humalog, Jardiance, Trulicity, mm, and Eliquis are really expensive for you to purchase, definitely ask your primary care provider about manufacturer's coupons so that you're able to lower your costs or completely negate your costs at for those specific drugs. Okay. So you're probably getting called a lot, a lot this in insurance season, and you're wondering why in the world are you being called? Why? My phone just won't stop ringing. So we're going to learn a little bit more why and what you can do to kind of not get all of these calls. So why are you being called for insurance all the darn time, right? You're most likely being called by call centers due to you either clicking on an advertisement and or filling out a form to contact later from one advertisement. So when you're looking at these ads and they're telling you to fill out a form, if you're filling out a form, then they have that information to then thus call you, the marketing agency or the call center. You've given them the right from filling out the lead form to call you, right? Now, where you filled out this form, right? They'll share that information with their affiliates, in which those affiliates will share that information to their affiliates. It used to be, I think last year they were trying to do away with this by trying to pass the 1-to-1 act to where you're only filling out the lead form for the only agent or the only insurance area or whatever you're wanting to do, right? That you're only filling out one form with one business. That was going to be passed, or it did pass in 2025, um well, in 2024 for it to be enacted now in 2025, but they completely dropped the ruling on that to now where just general TCPA rules apply, unfortunately. So is any of this legal? Yes. Fortunate. I'm sorry. Yes, but yes. Even if you are on the do not call registry and if you fill out one of these forms, an entity has the right to contact you for at least 3 months by filling out the form. It's true. Like, you can Google it. You can take this information that you see and type it in on Google and get the same result. If you're filling out a lead form and you are on the federal do not call list, that entity that you filled out the form for, they have the right to call you for at least 3 months. And also, when you go on websites, they specifically ask about your privacy and agreement to share data. So when you go on a website, there's this like, we care about your privacy or manage your privacy settings. In that little dialog box, it lists all of the partnerships where your data is being shared to, right? If you click accept all, then it goes everywhere, right? Your data goes everywhere and then people can call you. If you click manage my cookies or manage my privacy settings, and you can click whom you want to share your data with or not, but it's there. If you click accept all, it goes everywhere from the privacy cookie settings. Okay. So what is the TCPA Act? The general information on the TCPA Act, which was passed in the mid 90s, is that a person cannot call before 8 a.m. and after 9 p.m. your local time. So if you're getting a call from a call center or from a marketing agency and they're calling you before 8 a.m., that's not allowed. You can get in contact with the Federal Trade Commission and and put the kibosh on that. So likewise, if they're calling you at 9 after 9 p.m., they can't do that. You can, call and leave a note with the Federal Trade Commission to put the kibosh on that. As of now, because we're in a government shutdown, you may not be able to file a report on that. So I'm sorry, but if you want to make a note of it, and when the government opens back up, you want to make a make a report on that, then like do so. Okay. If you list your number as do not call, they cannot call you. Call centers are supposed to scrub the data for numbers that are on the do not call list, right? But keep in mind, if you fill out a lead form and you use the same number that is on the do not call list, that call center or that marketing agency has the right to call you for 3 months. Please be aware of that. But if you didn't do that and you're getting called anyway and you know that you didn't do that, then definitely get in contact with the Federal Trade Commission. You can't be robocalled or given automatic messages. Obviously, that's a given. My previous agency, Assurance IQ, which just given, which had just been ruled against under a class action lawsuit, maybe about 2 years ago, about this very same thing, robocalls. So if this happens to you and you know it's an automatic message, or if it's a automatic voice, you can definitely talk to the Federal Trade Commission about that. So what are licensed agents supposed to say? Licensed agents and licensed brokers supposed to say and do? Licensed agents are supposed to state their name, their title, that the call is being recorded, and a third party marketing disclaimer if you're over the age of 65. So the third party marketing disclaimer is as follows. Please keep in mind that as a licensed Medicare insurance agent, I do not offer every plan available in your area. Currently, I represent XX organizations, which offers XX products in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov, 1-800-Medicare, or your local state health insurance program to get information on all of your options. A licensed agent and broker has to do all of that within, like, I think the first 5 minutes of the call. Then once they get all of your information, do a thorough needs examination, they have to state the scope of appointment to you. If you're under the age of 65, this agreement is the CMS agreement. Okay. Now, if you agree to the scope of appointment or CMS agreement, they have to obtain your Medicare ID number, social security number in order to complete the enrollment. Are the applications that we fill, we have to have this information. It doesn't matter if this is an ACA policy that we have to write up or do the application for. It doesn't matter if this is the Medicare Advantage policy. We have to have the MBI number. And if so, find out what your Medicaid ID number through your Social Security. These are things that we have to have in order to complete those applications on your behalf. This is necessary. So don't be worried and don't be afraid of giving us this type of information. We are licensed and certified agents and brokers. And if there's any problem or if you feel like there's any sort of fraud, you can get in contact with your Department of Insurance about that agent so that there's the correction that's made. Okay. We are heavily regulated by the Department of Insurance of your state and by CMS. So please be aware of that. And if you're getting an additional policy, like dental or something else, and they're required to get your credit or debit card information or your making and rounding number, they need that to finalize uh, the purchase of that policy. It's necessary. We can't do our work, we can't do our job without having all of this information in order to put you in policies that are better aligned with you. Okay. And then also, if there's anything that's fraud issued or fraud related, we are licensed agents. You can make a report against us at your Department of Insurance, just so that you know. Okay. So, what is the scope of a appointment and or CMS agreement? The scope of an appointment and CMS agreement needed to write additional products or for ACA policies are agreements where the agents disclose what will be discussed during a sales meeting or what will be completed during the sales meeting under a CMS agreement, what their roles are in the meeting, and how you don't have to agree to the scope of appointment or CMS agreement. This these agreements, scope of appointment, if you're over the age of 65 and you have a Medicare plan, a CMS agreement if you're under the age of 65. We need these agreements signed so that we're able to legally talk to you about the policies that are within your area and give you quotes. Um, you don't have to agree to this agreement, but if you don't necessarily agree to this agreement, we can't legally be allowed to tell you about the products in the products within your area, the policies within your area. So it's kind of necessary. Um, so, like I said, these agreements are necessary to have before any health insurance sale is completed, or if we give you quotes uh, about whatever policies that you're interested in. Okay. So, what is final expense? What are the benefits? Who's accepted? Okay. So, what is final expense and what are the benefits? Final expense is a life insurance policy which covers a funeral, whether you want to get cremated or not, while being able to offer cash value to the policyholder. It offers financial relief. It protects the family from high funeral and burial costs. Easy to qualify. No medical exam is required, simplifying approval for seniors or those with health issues. Guaranteed guaranteed coverage. Premiums are fixed and the coverage is lifetime as long as the payments are made. Flexible payout. Funds go directly to the beneficiary and can be used for any final expense, medical bills, debt, or funeral. And peace of mind provides immediate cash to loved ones when they need it the most, right? And if you're interested in learning about these types of policies, contact your insurance agent or book a consultation. The reason why these are so decent to get is because final expense is a low cost permanent life insurance. And what's great about these low cost permanent life insurances is that they have cash value or they build cash value. So if you're in a situation and you don't have income at all, none, like say you have to immediately go to the emergency room and say you don't have, hospital indemnity policy, you don't have a fixed indemnity policy, and you need to go to the emergency room and you don't have no money at all, if you've paid if you have a final expense policy and you paid your final expense policy for at least 3 to 5 years, there's cash value inside the policy where you can borrow against the death benefit to get those funds out and pay for the things that you need, whatever it could be, any type of emergency. But you have to pay on the policy for at least to 5 years in order for it to build cash value so that you can borrow against it. And what's good about these cash value loans is that there isn't a credit check, there isn't an income check for you to borrow against. And if you don't pay back the loan, it's just deducted from the burial amount on that policy. It's one of the best things about permanent life insurance. I've used it under my policy that I had at the time, which was State Farm. I borrowed at least about maybe 3,000 for for things that were happening in my life. So having that option for a low cost premium permanent life insurance, I think, is really good to have. So if you're interested about those policies, definitely talk to your insurance agent or broker, or make a consultation. Okay. So this is the end. So thank you so much. If you want to support my business, thank you. Buy me a coffee. Now, please keep in mind that this is an educational event. You are not obligated by any means to buy me a coffee. Okay, this is the educational event. You're not obligated to buy me a coffee at all. But if you want to, that's amazing. That's great. We brokers, we insurance agents, we are typically self-employed, and so any bit of help that we can get to help support our businesses and help support the clients that we have and the future clients that we have, that would be amazing. If you have any questions, definitely ask me now within the chat. Definitely ask me now so that I know what's happening and I can better help you. If your question is very specific, if your question is policy specific, definitely definitely make an appointment. You want to use your phone and scan the QR code so that you can book an appointment with me so I can look at um your policy or your situation and I can see what I can do to help. Okay? Now, if you need any of these um, QR codes at all, like if you want to follow me on Facebook, you can scan that QR code above so that you can follow me on Facebook. If you need food help and you're over the age of 60, you can scan the QR code there, so that you're able to apply for the commodity supplemental food program. That's there. If you need that, definitely make a um, definitely scan it with your QR scanner so that you have that. If you need to apply for federal extra help, use the QR code scanner so that you can apply for federal extra help. If you need to get cheaper um, prescription drugs, definitely use the QR scanner to use GoodRx, or like what my colleague was talking about recently, getting on Clever RX and using those benefits there. Okay. And also, if you kind of know what you want or you're in the basis of looking for Part C policies, definitely check here and see what is available in your area. Okay. And also, if you are under the age of 65 and you want to kind of know what's in your market, right? Definitely use your QR code to find what's available for you in Health Sherpa. Okay. So this is it, guys. Thank you so much for thank you so much for being on these lovely webinars. This is my second webinar. This one ran from 11 o'clock to 12. So this was my second webinar. keep in mind that I will be doing these webinars weekly from Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. I mean, to 12 p.m. Okay, so I'm doing these webinars 2 times a week, Wednesday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely to see all of you. Definitely share these events with your friends, share them with your family if you need to get the word out so that they can get help or know what's happening. Definitely, definitely, definitely share them. You can find me on Facebook, where you can get the links to these events so that you can share them and get the word out to your community how you can get help. And yeah, that's it. So it was a pleasure being here, being able to help you.